All right, so today we're starting up chapter 6, 6.1, comparing and ordering integers. So in example 1, I'm writing integers. So we're going to talk just like real life here for a minute. So if I said that the football running back ran for a 7-yard gain, what do you think that looks like as an integer? Write it on your papers. What does it look like? As a number, if you will. Positive or negative? What is it, guys? Positive 7. Do you need the plus sign? No, you can just write it 7 and it's understood that it's positive. What about that I spent $20? How would I write that as an integer? Write it on your papers. All right, what is it? Negative $20, right? I spent it. I lost it. All right, so that's going to be negative because I'm out $20. What about that I hiked 36 miles? Write that as an integer. And what is it? Positive 36. Very good. And last one, I used 50 gallons of gas. All right, and what's that one going to be? Negative 50. Very good. All right, so now I want to talk for a minute about opposite value. Opposite value. All right, when I'm talking about opposite, I want you to think about a number line for a minute. Okay, a number line. And in the middle of a number line is our benchmark, and our benchmark is 0. So over here, I've got 15. Okay, so 0 to 15 is 15 units, right? So when I'm talking about opposite value, I just wrote that the wrong way though. 15 goes over here, it's positive. So if it's positive 15, I'm going to go the same number of units away into the negative over to negative 15. So the opposite of a number is going to be the same number of units away from 0, just on the opposite side of 0. Easy enough? Okay, so let's erase this number line. So the opposite of 15 is negative 15. The opposite of negative 20 is positive 20. Okay, just same units away from 0, just on the other side of 0. All right? Answer this one on your paper. What's the opposite of negative 40? Write it down. What is it? Positive 40. Do you need a plus sign? No. All right, now I want you to do these 4. We already did the first, well, sort of did the first one. All right, go ahead and do these 4. All right, so opposite of negative 15 is, sorry, number 4 was negative 100, not 10, but should be an easy fix. All right, so opposite of negative 15 was what? Positive 15. Opposite of 8 was negative 8. Opposite of 35 was negative 35. And opposite of negative 100? 100. Okay, so that's opposite value. Now I want to talk for a minute about absolute value. With absolute value, okay, I see absolute value written in bars, so a bar on each side of the number, vertical bars. And here's what absolute value means. It means that it doesn't care about the sign, it's how many units is this number away from 0. All right, so on a number line, guys, it doesn't matter necessarily that, you know, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. the negative 4 is way over here. It wants to know how many units is it away from 0. 4. It's the number without a sign. Okay, so absolute value of negative 4 is just 4. Absolute value of negative 6 is just 6. Absolute value of 12, guess what? It's just 12. Absolute value has no sign, okay? It's just how many units it is away from 0. You with me so far? All right, so I want you to do a couple. Find the absolute value of negative 15, the absolute value of negative 24, and the absolute value of 30. What's the absolute value of negative 15?
15.
What's the absolute value of negative 24?
24.
And 30? 30. All right. Any questions on real life integers, 7-yard loss, hiked 36 miles, all that? Any questions on that? Opposite value or absolute value? You with me so far? Okay. So now in example 2, now I'm comparing these integers using a number line. Here's where I really need you to, and what they're trying to do here is create a visual for you on how numbers relate to each other on a number line. Okay, so I'm comparing, for a minute, negative 2 and negative 5. Here's what I want you to see on this number line. All right, and I do want you to write this one down. I want you to see that the farther left you go, the larger the negative, the smaller the value is going to be. Do you see that? The larger the negative, the farther it goes, it gets away from 0, the smaller the value. But what about the positive? It's the opposite. The bigger the number, the bigger the value, right? 100 is bigger than 10. You have to understand, guys, there is no concept in this chapter that is more important than that concept. The farther you get from 0, the lesser the value in the negative. The farther you get from 0 in the positive, the greater the value. So I show that on a number line, and I can clearly see that which one is the smaller number. Negative 5 is the smaller number. Negative 5 is less than negative 2. Or I could say negative 2 is greater than negative 5. I can go either way. I can switch it around. But I'm showing on the number line that negative 5 is less than negative 2. All right, so I want you to create a number line comparing negative 6 and 1. All right, so what would be the smallest number that you're going to put on this number line? What do you think? 6? Negative 6, or maybe just go one past negative 6 to negative 7. Okay, so maybe just go one past. I'd start at negative 7. Go ahead and build your number line, plot your points, and tell me, is negative 6 less than or greater than 1? All right, so I got negative 7, negative 6, go all the way up, plot my points on negative 6 and 1, and which one is clearly smaller? Yeah, negative 6 is smaller than 1, or you could say that 1 is greater than negative 6. Either way, either way. All right, so the sign is open to the larger number. Writing it either way. Let's do one more. All right, now on these, 5, 6, 7, and 8, I want you, and we're on page 252. Go ahead and turn in your books. Here, it doesn't ask us to use a number line. So on your homework tonight, it's going to do both. It's going to say just compare them. So copy and complete the statement, or it's going to say use a number line. On 5, 6, 7, and 8, you don't have to use a number line. They just want you to copy and complete the statement. Okay, so number 5, 0 is what? Greater than or less than negative 7? Greater than. Very good. 0 is greater than any negative number, right? Right? Okay. What about negative 9 and 4? 4 is larger, right? Negative 9 is less than 4. We read it left to right. Number 7, negative 5 is less than negative 4. And number 8, negative 3 is greater than negative 13. Who got them all right? Everybody get them all right? Very good. Okay, so that's example 2, kind of comparing integers using that number line. In example 3, now I'm going to have a set of numbers. And you have at least one of these on your homework. I think you might have 3. Yes, you have 3 of these on your homework tonight, where it gives you a group of numbers. And you're going to compare these numbers using a number line. All right, well, let's look at the range of the numbers. What is the smallest number that you see there?
15.
Negative 15. What's the largest number you see?
6.
6. That's a really big spread. Do you think you're going to go by ones on your number line? No, that would be a really big number line. What do you want to go by? 2s? Maybe 3s. That might be a stretch. I'd go by 2s. So what would be the first number on your number line? On the far left. Far left. The farthest, the smallest number. Negative 16. Because I'm going to go just past my smallest number in the set. Negative 14. And then what's going to be my largest number on my number line? Not 6, but 8. I'm going to go a little bit higher than 6. All right, now plot my numbers and put them in order, least to greatest. All right, so plot my numbers on negative 15, 14, 12, 3, 6, and positive 6. Do you have all those? Now you can clearly see what's the smallest number. Negative 15, negative 14, negative 12, negative 6, negative 3, and 6. And you box it in. All right, so you do have to show the number line if it asks. Or if it just says to order them, like on number 10, it just says to order them, you just put them in order least to greatest. So it just depends on what the directions tell you to do. All right, any questions? There's a section on your homework tonight that says give 2 values that make this statement true. 2 values for D that would make this statement true. Write them on your papers. 2 values for D, write on your paper, that would make the statement true. So what are some values of D, Blake?
6 and 1,000,007.
6 and 1,000,007. Yep. What else? What else, Deja? Keep it simple. 2 and 4? Did you write down 2 positive numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Did you write it on your paper? 2 positive numbers? Okay, so you should have written 2 positive numbers. All right, so 5 and 12, 10 and 15, any positive number. All right, give me 2 values here that would make the statement true. 2 values for K. So any number less than negative 10 would make this true. Negative 15 and negative 30 are just 2 examples of that. All right, so that should be pretty much everything for 6.1.